Good afternoon, Peter. Taking a break from promoting physical silver?
No, Gwen. I'm just recharging my engines in the fight against the silver shills.
Shills? What is a shill?
Shills are people who are hired by the banksters to discourage people from stacking physical silver.
Really? Why would they want to do that?
Simple, Gwen. The bankers know that physical silver is their Achilles heel, and they do everything they can to dissuade people from stacking physical silver.
Why would they want to do that?
Well, just think about it for a moment. How many more ounces would it take for the people to stack to cause a crisis in the physical silver market?
Well, I suppose it would lie somewhere between the 500 or so million ounces used every year by industry and the 150 or so million ounces taken by investors.
Correct. So if they only mine roughly 750 million ounces or so every year, how many ounces are left over after industry and investment demand are filled?
I would say roughly 100 or so million ounces.
Correct. And at current silver prices, what is the value of 100 million ounces?
At $35 per ounce, 100 million ounces of silver costs $3.5 billion.
Correct. So if the people buy more than 100 million extra ounces of physical silver per year, we have a squeeze situation in silver. So let me ask you, what is 1% of the current world population?
According to Wikipedia, current world population stands at 7 billion. So 1% of that is 70 million people.
Correct. And how many ounces per year of silver would that 1% of people have to buy to exceed that 100 million ounce difference?
If all of those 70 million people just bought just 2 ounces of physical silver per year, then that would amount to 140 million ounces per year.
Yes. And since each of those people would only have to spend $70 each per year, you can see that if even 1% of the world's population decided to stack physical silver, they would only have to buy 2 ounces each to start a crisis in the physical silver market. What if that 1% bought 10 ounces each per year?
Well, if 1% of the world's population bought 10 ounces of physical silver per year or spent $350 per year, that would take up 700 million ounces per year, or nearly 95% of all silver mined every year.
Correct. And if that happened, what do you think would happen to the price of silver?
Well, obviously it would explode upward, because the industries which uses roughly 500 million ounces per year would have to outbid each other to get the remaining 50 million ounces.
And if that were to happen, how high would the price of silver go?
In that case, I would imagine the price of silver would move at least tenfold or even more to make up for it.
Good. So the price of silver would run to $350 per ounce or even higher, correct?
Yes. And silver would be very hard to come by as well.
So if you were one of the criminal banksters, and you knew that if even 1% of the world's population caught on to the idea of stacking physical silver, the game would be over, what would you do?
Well, I suppose I would do everything I could to scare people away from stacking physical silver.
And how would you go about doing that?
Simple. I would find people in the anti-government, free market, and anarchist communities who are fairly well trusted, and pay them a large amount of money to discourage people from stacking physical silver.
Okay, and if that didn't work, what would you do?
I would begin to attack the character of all the silver stackers and those who promote stacking silver as snake oil salesmen and shysters.
I see. So you would use psyop tactics to make sure the public is confused enough about who is telling the truth about silver that they freeze in confusion and fail to act on their silver stacking impulses.
Correct. Because if even a small percentage of the public figures out what an opportunity exists in physical silver, then it is game over for the banksters.
Excellent. Goodbye.